if you need to add or change a sensitivity quickly in a model, you should build it properly, include new cells, etc. But if you have to do it quickly, there are a couple of ways you can using Excel's paste special command. So firstly, just to explain the particular component. Let's say we've got sales of these items here. You'll see some are numbers, some are formulas, etc. We need to change it. We want to add 10% to it. So we could go manually to each one. But what I can do is I'm going to go into a separate cell and type 1.1. I can copy it. I'm going to highlight the cells I want to go to. If I go to paste special, what you'll see is there's a section here called operations. And the one item here is called multiply. So when I click multiply, what Excel wants to do or is going to do is take that cell, whatever's in there, we had a 1.1, go to that cell and multiply whatever's in that cell by 1.1. Then goes to that cell, multiplies whatever's in that cell by 1.1. At the moment I've said paste all, and you'll see what it does is it affects the formatting, but you can use one of these so that it doesn't affect the formatting. So when I say OK, you'll see it changes to 330, 165, etc. The first one just changes to 330, so it was multiplied and the number maintained. But what you'll see is if you go to something that had a formula in it, you'll see it puts brackets around it and it says times 1.1. So that allows you to have a little bit of an audit trail. So that's quite useful if you want to quickly add 10% or take off 10% so you'd multiply by 0.9, etc. Just going to undo this. So we're back here. But this can be used to trick Excel into actually changing some formulas. So for example, over here, what I've got is I've got these same details, but they're now going across. And you'll see they're kind of all over the place. They're not looking in some nice sequence, which means that there's no real way to create a formula. So you'll see that says equals B2, and then let's say go multiply by whatever's in that cell, and I could put my dollar signs on, but now there's no way to copy that across. So I'd have to now go to that one and do the same thing, that one and do the same thing, etc. So let's just undo here. So what we can do is we can trick Excel into doing it. So in a separate cell over here somewhere, I'm going to say equals to the cell, and I must put my dollar signs on. So what it's done is just equals to that cell there. I'm now going to go copy, and when I go here, I can go paste special, multiply. Now I'll explain to you how this or why this works just now. But when I say multiply, you can see at the moment that cell there says equals B2. When I say OK, notice that that cell now says equals B2 times B21. If I come to this one, it's now saying B5 times B21. And this cell's now irrelevant. I could actually delete it if I wanted to. For now, I'm just going to leave it. So let's just understand why that works. When we did this one, the assumption was that Excel looked at the 1.1 and multiplied it. So it looked at the answer in the cell and multiplied it across. But the reality is it doesn't look at the answer in what you visually see. It actually goes into the formula and it copies whatever's in there. So over here, effectively what Excel does here is it goes in here, copies whatever's there. So it doesn't look at the result, a 1. It copies whatever's in there. It then goes to the cell, puts the bracket on. Because we said multiply, it puts a multiply sign. And whatever it copied, pastes it. So that's why the dollar signs are important. If I had not put dollar signs on, this one would have looked here, but then this one would have looked here. So you can use that to change how your sensitivities run. This cell here is now irrelevant. I can delete it. this has been set up, so now it's looking. So even though it's inconsistent, we've now added a quick sensitivity on. If I now change it to 110%, all these numbers change, and presumably the rest of the model then would use these numbers. So it's quite a nice way, especially if you've received a model from someone else which hasn't been built in the good practice way, to add a sensitivity onto some cells and let them flow through the rest of the model.